Australia has been warned its lack of defence personnel in northern Australia is leaving it vulnerable to security threats amid the rise of China in the Indo-Pacific.
Matt Cunningham joins us live now from Darwin. Matt, this warning comes amid some falling defence numbers that have been experienced in the top end. It came as a bit of a surprise, I've got to say, to me reading this report, given the recent coverage we've done of the US Marines rotating through the top end and so on.
That's right, Kieran. Although you will remember a few weeks ago we spoke here to John Coyne from the Australian Strategic Policy Institute, and he actually sounded that warning, saying that the defence levels here in the Northern Territory are at an 11-year low. Now, there are various reasons for that. We've seen the 1st Armoured Regiment move south to Adelaide, and the 7 RAR as well included armoured tanks moving south to Adelaide. There are various reasons behind that. One of those is the tanks haven't been able to properly operate up here in the wet and the humidity of Darwin. But this is obviously a concern that has now been outlined in this report that has been put out by the Australian Strategic Policy Institute and also the United States Studies Centre, which has also sounded a warning about the rise of China in the Indo-Pacific and how the United States and Australia deal with that rise. Now, we spoke this morning to Brendan Thomas-Noon from the United States Studies Centre. Here's a bit of what he had to say.
Its main military competitor in the region, China, has invested in a series of capabilities that specifically target the way the United States operates its military forces. The United States tends to, and Australia with its allies, tends to base bombers and fighters and troops in large concentrated bases. China has invested in a series of ballistic and other types of cruise missiles that basically target these efficient large bases and negate their ability to project power.
That's another reason.
Kieran and Annalise, the Labor Party before the last election was pledging to do a force posture review. Now, that's not happening under the coalition government, but the Chief Minister of the Northern Territory, Michael Gunner, says that review needs to happen. Here's a bit of what he had to say.
So we've seen a decline in the amount of defence personnel based in the Northern Territory over recent years. There's been a series of decisions made outside of force posture review. I think it's time to take a pause, review our forces here in the north and make sure we have the right people and right equipment in the right spots.
Darwin has long been an important strategic part of this country, right back to when it was bombed in 1942 by the Japanese. But the Australian Strategic Policy Institute points out today that there hasn't been a serious review done of our defence capabilities in Northern Australia since 1986. It's calling for that review to be done now, saying that we need to base more personnel here in the north amid the rise of China in the Indo-Pacific.